What up, family, and welcome back to The Arsenal with yours truly, G.Runna. 2020 has started out with a bang, and I'm here to keep you up on all things related to the culture. DaBaby's back in the news as usual. French Montana might be a scammer. How High 2 is on Netflix, and we've already had some tragic losses and some losses that we feel impartial about. But enough with the introductions. Welcome to episode 2, and as always, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe.
I really did it. I really did it. I got a joke. I really did it. Got time or I gotta quit.
Okay, last episode I talked about how great 2019 was for DaBaby. 2020 seems to be starting out kind of shaky for him. I mean, he's no stranger to the legal troubles and the law fucking with him. He ended out 2019 being harassed by police in his hometown after a show where they searched him and found a small amount of weed and pressed him out for it. But you know how that goes. It was all some bullshit.
You in here for some marijuana? Man, this is some bullshit!
But already this year, he's been arrested again in Miami in connection to a battery charge where he and his homies allegedly beat the hell out of a concert promoter, ran his pockets, and poured apple juice all over him for being short $10,000 for his performance the night before.
Some work-ass trick just stepped on my sneakers and poured Morton salt all over me.
I mean, I get it. You know how this man gets down, allegedly. So if you don't pay him his money, they ain't beat your ass. You beat your own ass. You did it to yourself when you chose not to pay him.
You're goddamn right.
Now, I'm nowhere near in his position, and I'm probably being a hypocrite by saying this, but when you get as big as he do, you gotta start handling situations differently. You know, but coming from where we come from, you play a nigga for them type of raps, it's kinda hard not to roll the nigga credits, you feel me? How High 2? How do I explain how I feel about How High 2? They gotta stop making sequels to classic movies that, how do I put it, fucking suck and have no connection to the original. I mean, we all remember Belly 2.
This is not okay. This needs to stop now.
I'll just leave it at that. I mean, shout out to The Game, Lil Yachty, and DC Young Fly. Get your money, black man, but them movies is trash.
Show me how to feel. Show me how to feel nothing.
Okay, Nick Gordon, the man who was responsible for Bobby Christina Brown's death in civil court but never officially charged criminally for it, died allegedly of an overdose on New Year's Day. The history of this story is a crazy one, surrounded by death, drugs, and bathrooms for whatever reason. Okay, to properly tell this story, let me rewind back to 2002, when Nick moved into Whitney and Bobby's house at 12 years old. He was never officially adopted, but Bobby, Christina, and him grew up from that point on as siblings and somehow sprouted into a romantic relationship. Anyway, fast forward to 2012, we all suffered the tragic loss of Whitney Houston, who died of an overdose and was found in a hotel bathtub. Bobby Christina suffered terribly from her loss. She dove deeper in with Nick Gordon, making their relationship public shortly after. 3 years later, Bobby Christina was found face down and unconscious in a bathtub, just like her mother. She later died in hospice after being in a coma for 6 months. Oddly enough, Max Lomas, the person who found Bobby Christina dead, he also died in 2018 in the bathroom of an apparent overdose. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, either way, Gordon was accused of giving Bobby Christina what they called a toxic cocktail and was speculated to have placed her face down in the tub, resulting in her death. This couldn't be proven by investigators, but he was ordered by a judge to pay $36 million to Brown's estate in a wrongful death lawsuit. I mean, you can't put a price on your family member's life, so that $36 million was pretty much useless. And you can't squeeze blood from a turnip, meaning, how the hell was he gonna pay $36 million? He wasn't bringing in any money. But you can squeeze blood from a person, and if I was one of Bobby's family members, I would definitely want to see some blood squeezed from him. But things happen, and here we are today talking about Nick Gordon being found unresponsive in an Orlando hotel. Wonder if he was in the bathroom. Okay, this story is even crazier than the last one. We started out this year with news of the loss of a young rising star with an enormous amount of talent. On New Year's Day, it was reported that the rapper Lexii Alijai was dead from unknown causes. There are very little details surrounding this death of this talented woman, and it left fans wondering what really happened. The talented young woman, who is best known for her remixes on several popular songs, her mixtape Super Sweet 16, and featuring on Kehlani's single Jealousy, was only 21 at the time of her death. And as far as we know, she was in good health. I hope that for the family's sake, they release some sort of statement about the circumstances surrounding her death, because we all know the internet is a very cruel place where people take speculations and they run with them. But that's part of the price of fame though. With that being said, her family members are no strangers to this. Lexii was also the granddaughter of the R&B funk legend Roger Troutman, who was a major influence on not only West Coast music in the 90s, with most of his music being heavily sampled and featuring on such songs as California Love by Tupac and Dr. Dre, but also the use of his voice box sparked the popularity of auto-tune in rap music. Like Lexii, there were strange circumstances surrounding his death. Roger died in 1999 after being shot to death by his brother Larry, who then killed himself. But beyond that, it's very sad to see this young queen with so much potential lose her life so early. Whatever the circumstances were, she's definitely gone too soon, and my heart goes out to her loved ones. Rest easy, young queen. Wide receiver, alleged sexual harasser, and owner of a blonde mustache, Antonio Brown, dropped a single.
I got a whole lot of money, 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 whole lot of money, I got a whole lot of money, whole lot of money.
Get the fuck out of here. Bruh.
Yeah.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
French Montana. Where do I even start with this shit? Okay, this nigga claims he sold 500,000 records in the first week. No. In reality, he sold 25,000, but this is how he came to that number. Songs that are released have an ISRC code attached to them. This code tracks how many times a song is played, streamed, or sold anywhere in the world. What French did was took the singles that he had released as far back as 2016 and added them to the album that was just released in December. When these singles are re-released with the same ISRC code attached to them on an album, all the numbers that these pre-released singles obtain are then added to the numbers of that album. Hence, him selling 25,000 records and being able to say he sold 500,000. Technically, yeah, he sold 500,000, but not in the first week. It was over 3 to 4 years. So for him to boast about this was a weird flex. No, let's just call it what it is. It's straight cap. But that's not even the craziest part of this whole thing. First off, how you drop a single with the two biggest artists in the game as the lead single for your album and it ends up a dub? I mean, you got a track with Cardi B and Post Malone and it don't take off. Something was clearly done wrong here. Somebody dropped the fucking ball. I mean, personally, I kind of like the song. It's got a nice vibe to it. It's been out since September, but it never really took off when it was released. So I guess they said they're gonna force this shit. Now, according to several people on social media, people who never even played a French Montana song before have been seeing the single pop up in their recently played section on Spotify. Some users even claim that the song would just start playing out of nowhere. This would explain how the song magically started climbing to the top of the Spotify charts 3 months after its release. I mean, damn, hacking niggas' Spotify accounts to get numbers? I mean, I guess you gotta do something to find a way to recoup for that Cardi and Post Malone feature, because god damn, I know that ain't cheap. The funniest thing about all this is all going on in the midst of while he's going back and forth with a social media battle with 50 Cent on some silly rich nigga shit. I bought a new Bugatti, nigga, and you bought an old one. Nigga, you was kissing Eminem, huh? I know 50 about to flame his ass up on this. Much love to French Montana, man, but you gotta stop capping, homie.
Another one. Another one. And another one.
Okay, that does it for this episode of The Arsenal. I'd like to thank all of y'all for the great responses so far. And if you would like me to take my take on anything or you have any questions, don't hesitate to drop a comment below, man. If you fucking with what's going on here, make sure you subscribe and cut on those notifications so you know every time we drop. And make sure you go check out that new single, Momentum by Beato and myself. The link is in the description. Alright, family. I'll see y'all next time if Iran don't drop a fucking nuke on us by then.
I really did it. I am the truth. I really did it. I got a juice. I really did it. Yeah. Got time or I gotta quit it.